El Swayal, which means good day in Halkamela. This week in career education, you are going to be looking at who you are based on your interests and how this can impact school choices and career paths. So what captures your interest? When you are doing tasks that you enjoy and are interested in, you'll be happier and more successful in life. Before we delve into the lesson, we're going to take a minute to think, pair, and share around this. Name 2 to 3 of your interests and tell why you enjoy each one. And what are some careers you're considering and how do these relate to your interests? You're going to pause the video right now and think about this and share with a partner. A psychologist named John Holland developed a theory based on your interests and career matches. According to Holland, careers are determined by an interaction between our personality and the environment. People prefer subjects in school and a career path where they can be with others who are similar to themselves in terms of these interest areas. According to John Holland's theory of personality, he's divided our personality into 6 main interest areas. The realistic people, he calls the doers. Those with investigative strengths, he calls the thinkers. Those with artistic strengths are the creators. Those with social strengths, he calls the helpers. Those with enterprising strengths, he calls the persuaders. And those with conventional strengths, he calls the organizers. This fits into his idea that most people fit into a combination of these 6 personality types. And once you know your dominant 2 to 3 types, you can consider courses and career paths that match them. So let's watch a video to learn a little bit more about these 6 career personalities.
When choosing a career, it's important to identify your personality types. And usually you're a combination of 2 or 3 personality types. And once you identify them, then you can find the careers that match them.
Okay, awesome. So here we go. First personality.
Okay, the builder. The builder is somebody who likes to work with their hands, very active, good with tools, machines, somebody who is very good with physical skills. So builder would be somebody who works in athletics, somebody who contractor, an architect. Usually a lot of people who work in production, for instance. You know, you're working on a movie set and somebody has to create this, create the wardrobe, has to create the set. A lot of people who build houses, from the electricians to the iron workers to the carpenters. The next one, the creator. A lot of people think the creator means somebody who can draw or paint, artistic abilities. Yes, those are creators too. But it's also people who think outside the box. Right. They're not just going to accept a rule and be like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to follow it no matter what. They're people who can see different perspectives and also come up with new ideas and new products. Usually they stay away from repetitive tasks. Traditionally, you can think a creator as a graphic designer or any type of artist, but a creator can also be somebody, an entrepreneur is a creator usually. Filmmaker, a producer, they can be people who, like in a company, the creative personalities are the people like maybe product designers, which product designers are people who come up with the idea of a new product.
Right. But again, even with all of these careers, like you said earlier, most careers are a combination, and most human beings are a combination of a lot of these different personality types. So it doesn't mean that if you're creative, that you're not also a builder, or you're not also a problem solver or something else.
Exactly. All careers are a combination. Right. So like a medical scientist, you think, okay, maybe that's probably just problem solver. But no, problem solver, they're a builder and they're a creator because they're coming up with, a new solution for a certain medical problem.
I think this is actually a really good message because I know, like, when I was growing up, I always felt like I'm a creative, right? I loved being creative when I was a kid. I also loved building things. But I think I always felt like to be creative, I had to go into the arts, right? Like I had to major in film, or I had to be an actress or do something like that. And I think now that I'm older, I realize that being creative is just like, it's part of your personality. And in so many organizations, creativity is a valued skill and it's an asset and it's a part of who you are, that you don't have to necessarily be a professional artist in order to be creative, right? Would you agree?
Yes, totally.
But the truth is, you can go to healthcare and you could be creative, right? Like
every
so
industry,
cool.
every company
Right.
has every personality type.
That's mind blowing.
Yeah. Every single personality type, we should cultivate all of them.
Right.
But knowing what you just naturally are good at, then you can kind of steer your way to like which career you want in a certain industry. Okay, then the persuader. This personality strength is not really highlighted in high school. The persuader is somebody who can lead people, who can sell anything to anybody. You know, I say it's anybody who can sell water to a whale. You know that person in your high school who can just convince you of anything, good or bad, right? But that person, that skill is actually very, very valued in any company, you know, sales, for instance. And in every organization, any company, sales is a huge part, you know. Persuaders are also self-starters. Nobody's telling you to do it, you just do it.
Right. So there's a little bit of an entrepreneurial
yes.
vibe with the persuader, it sounds like. Or they can just go out there and they're not afraid and they can just
public speaking, yeah.
And what are some specific careers where that kind of sales ability or ability to persuade people comes in?
Real estate agent, right? A lot of the people who are politicians have the persuader personality.
This could even be, I would say, like social media manager. Like if you guys are really good at Instagram, that's like a huge asset. And people will hire you to help their company, like Instagram better.
And then the people person. Somebody who likes people, specifically likes to serve and help people. You know, I mean, the best people person career is really nurse. You know, somebody who's very patient with people, finds joy in helping them help somebody get better or help somebody learn something. You know, so a teacher is a people person. A therapist, even also people who work in sales, in customer service. And then there's the organizer. And the organizer is somebody who likes structure, processes, and can, complete tasks with accuracy and precision. And it's somebody who, works in operations, and that person is somebody who likes to make sure that things are done on time, on budget. Specific careers are like, for instance, like an accountant, or somebody who's like an event planner. Right. When you're doing like wedding planning, you need somebody who's like very methodical, right? Somebody who just likes rules and order.
Right. So that like kind of A-type maybe personality who is like all the ducks are in a row.
Yes.
Or like if you're the person who like your study notes are like in 4 colors, color coded, right? That person who has like way too many office supplies.
Yeah, you just use Google Calendar and like your desk is very organized.
Right.
Yeah. And last, the problem solver. The problem solver is like somebody who likes to solve complex problems, somebody who's very analytical, inquisitive. So software engineers, any type of engineer, professors, certain types of professors. But in the real world, all of the personality types are valued and needed to actually have any organization succeed. So I think we need to change the paradigm from how intelligent are you to how are you intelligent. A lot of these personality strengths are things that you actually naturally do, but you can also work on all of them.
Right.
So when you're taking the career quiz, it's really finding what you're naturally good at. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't be cultivating the other personality types. Yeah.
Now that you know a little bit more about Holland's theory, there are a couple of items to note before we continue on. First of all, we are not simply just one of these personality types, as that would mean that there are only 6 types of people in the world. Secondly, we develop through high school and discover ourselves as we make choices that zoom in on interests that suit each of us. While there are 6 categories in his survey, if you look at your combination in full, all the possible combinations, there are so many of them. There are actually 720 possible combinations in terms of the orders of the letters and their dominance. So here's your task for today. You're going to click Who Am I on the left-hand navigation menu, and you're going to complete the interest survey. Of course, you can restart the survey if you've done it in past years. When you're done, you're going to click on Add Portfolio and add it to your portfolio for this year. Then you're going to view your report. As you read it, you can select Learn More when it is presented. So you're going to take note of the following information that you will need for your reflection. You may want to have this open in one tab and your portfolio open in another tab to make your reflection easier to do. So you're going to take note of what is your main interest type. He'll give you 2 or 3 letters and he'll give you a word, the mentor, the builder. What is that word for you? In 2 to 3 sentences, you're going to summarize the interest type based on what you read. Then you're going to look at your top 2 to 3 interest traits. And for each one, give 1 to 2 sentences about what they mean. What do they involve? What occupations do people with those interest types tend toward? Do you agree or disagree with the results? And what was especially interesting or surprising? Then you're going to open your portfolio and add a reflection to your interest survey by clicking on the bottom right. Then you can complete your reflection based on the questions that we just went over. So this week's checklist, make sure you've completed your interest survey, added it to your portfolio, viewed and read the results, and then added a thoughtful and detailed reflection based on the prompts. This reflection is what your teacher will use to help create a mark for this course. So really try to take a deep dive and be somewhat insightful in this activity. All right, that's it for me this week. Have a great week.